Every pregnancy needs utmost care and attention. But certain pregnancies need a little extra attention. An RH negative mother carrying an RH positive baby is at increased risk of complications. BSV is at the forefront to ensure safe delivery in every RH negative pregnancy.
Hello and welcome to the Outside View post-match show. So, got to a good start. Bangladesh denied any breakthroughs to South Africa initially, but then it was a Ayabonga Khaka show. Before we get into it in detail, let me welcome our experts, Dane and Shatira, to this post-match show. In the mid-show, we rightly concluded by saying that the game is not over until the last ball is bowled. 2008 is what South Africa had to defend, and it was known that it wouldn't be a cakewalk for Bangladesh. So let's just start from the beginning. Shatira, I'll come to you first. Bangladesh had a good start. They denied any breakthrough to South Africa. Your thoughts on the opening partnership?
Our starting was good. Their planning was good. They were 69 for 119.3 over. Then the first wicket gone. But the thing was, they had a good partnership, but the strike rate was very slow. So later on, they should cover the strike rate, but they couldn't do it. But the middle order or lower order could cover it, but they unfortunately no one can cover that one. That is the problem. If you have a good partnership and you are in the wicket till 19 to 20th over and your strike rate is 40 to 50, I think that place you are going to lose the match when you are going to chase 200 plus run.
Exactly. So that is what also plays a very important role. But we always knew that South African pace bowling unit, it has a lot of power. There are big names out there, and we knew that it would be a bit difficult for Bangladesh. But then, of course, they got a good start. Just having a look at the bowling figures for today's match of South Africa, Shabnim Ismail, of course, got 1 wicket. Ayabonga Khaka, the probably the one who steal the show with her 4 wickets, also completed 100 ODI wickets. We'll talk about her in detail. That's going to be the big point to discuss in this post match show, of course. But then talking about the entire bowling attack, the way they presented themselves, your thoughts on it, Denny?
Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty complete performance from, I guess, the pace attack. As you can see there, everybody was under fours, which they needed to do. Ayabonga Khaka was outstanding. Masabata class, she also flies under the radar these days with those three pace bowlers. But I think all in all, everybody did a great job. And then, Chloe Tryon taking the bulk of the spin overs did a very handy job. And when Chloe gets it right, she's actually really, really tough to play. And I'm glad she did. And no doubt we'll see more Sine, in the next tour, in the next couple of games. I hope she still backs herself. But no, a very I can't say complete performance if you look at the stats, but definitely I hope that the team sit there tonight and really reflect on what I think was a below par performance from them. But having said that, I have to give credit to Bangladesh. They were very good, and I think they had definitely had my heart in my mouth, my throat a couple of times, and that is what this tournament's all about. It's for teams like Bangladesh to show what they're made of. And I just think it was the inexperience, and I called it in, half time. I said the only thing that's gonna, stop Bangladesh from chasing this is the inexperience, and it just showed a little bit. But these games they're gonna learn, and they'll only get better.
They'll only get better. That's right. Experience counts a lot in tournaments like the ICC events and the World Cup. So in the power play, as we were talking, that the Bangladesh batters, the openers, they were growing in confidence. They were denying any breakthrough to the South African bowlers. But then coming to you, Shatira, obviously they then experienced a collapse when the South African bowlers, when Ayabonga Khaka came with her second spell. So before I get to the middle order of Bangladesh, let me just take your thoughts on Khaka. Looked clinical with the ball, good line and length, lot of dot balls, and that finally paid her. It was Shamima, then Supta, and then Murshida. Your thoughts on Khaka?
Actually, like it was Kaka show. You told it before because, like when she came for bowling, it was they were struggling to take runs because her. If you see her bowling figure, she took 4 wicket. Beside that, she got three maiden over. That is very important. In that place, that two batters like were very conscious and they were in pressure that they have to take run. When you are not getting enough run with one bowler, so you have to charge of that bowler. So when they went for charging her, so then they have given the wicket, and Kaka was like really really very good. And it was like today she got 100 wicket also. And all credit goes to all the pacers, especially Kaka and all the pacers, mainly like we were talking about the captain, but she couldn't do very well. She did only 2 overs, but it's okay. What I told before this innings, like today, all the pacers are getting doing very well. So it was South African pacers. They have the best bowling, best pace bowling attack in this World Cup. So uh, it was like they deserve that definitely.
Big achievement for Ayabonga Khaka completing the 100 wickets in the ODI format. Coming to you, Dani, consistently she's been picking up wickets for South Africa, an important part of the team in this World Cup as well. One thing, if you can pinpoint about her that makes her stand out from the rest, because if we have to look at her stats, the maximum wickets of the 100 wickets have come in the middle order, which we consider middle overs, which we consider as a crucial phase of the innings.
Yeah, I mentioned it a couple of times. I think she just keeps it simple. She understands her game. She knows what her strengths are, and she backs it. And yeah, her milestone is pretty special. I've been part of hopefully most of them, but yeah, it's good to see her. I said she's coming into her own as a cricketer and as a leader within her own right within the setup. And yeah, so can't pinpoint one thing, but one thing I can say is she's very clear on what she wants to do, what she wants to do, and as you mentioned in the middle overs, she understands her role and she understands what field she wants to set and what she wants to do to certain batters, and it's showing at the moment, and she's really, as I mentioned, just coming into her own, and she's taken a lot of wickets in the last couple of years, and hopefully there's many more to come for her.
Many more to come for Khaka, says Dani. So, coming to you, Shatira, with my next question. Keeping a pace unit like that of South Africa quiet for 19 overs, because they got their first breakthrough in the 19th over. How important it was for Bangladesh to put them under pressure. There was no way out, probably, other than doing that.
Yeah, obviously South African bowlers was in pressure, but they also knows that their strike rate is not good. So they have to cover the run within 50 over. Na? They cannot play more than 50 overs. So they knows the capability and they knows the lackings there. But one thing I want to mention that Mushida is our regular opener and she is very good in power play. So I think that was the problem when Shamima and Sharmin came for open. They both are opener definitely, but Mushida should come at least number three, or Mushida and Shamima or Sharmin should came for open because Mushida is left hand batsman and she's very good power hitter. She can utilize the power play, but when you are going in power play you are basically opener, you cannot utilize the power play. So what is the result I don't know. But Mushida, when she came in number 4. She never bat in that place in domestic or anywhere actually. So when you are not getting your best opener in her best position, then you have to pay for that. So I think in that place Bangladesh did a mistake. If Mushida went for open, yeah, opening partnership was good, definitely it was good, but still it was not enough to win the match.
Yes, partnerships is what was crucial for Bangladesh. We'll come to that, but then first let's have a summary of the entire match. So as to how the entire innings went, we of course know that 208 was what Bangladesh had to chase. A good start out there. Nigar Sultana had a was on the field. She was struggling with an injury, probably, but still put up a fighting knock for Bangladesh had she been fit, because taking those running between wickets was affected due to the injury part of her. But then, had she been completely fit, would that have made a big difference for Bangladesh, Shatira?
Yeah, that's true. Like when she got injured, then that moment I thought she should come out from the ground, because we have a second wicket keeper in the ground, and Shamima was the second wicket keeper. So when she got injured, by that moment she should get out from the ground, and maybe she could take some rest, put some ice in her knee, and after that she could come back. Because if you think about the ground, she was a captain, so she was thinking about the ground. But in the ground there were three ex-captains, Salma, Jahanara and Rumana. They could handle the ground easily, and they are very experienced. So I think in that time when she got injured the first time, if she went out and took some rest and again came back for fielding and again back for batting, it would be better maybe. And it's not about this match only. She have to play all the matches, so she have to be fit for all the matches. So in the first match she got a injury, and it will hamper her in the whole tournament maybe.
Obviously. Now, coming to Chloe Tryon, had a good outing with the bat there, impressive with the ball as well. How important her contributions becomes for the South African team, Dani?
Yeah, that's why she's been picked all the time. She's gone through a patch where she probably, hasn't contributed as well as she wanted to for a bit of an extended period. And it's so good to see her doing what, everybody knows she can do. I always say there's some players that when they're in your side, they just make your team a confident side just by being in it, and obviously knowing what strength she has. And I mean, the way she struck the ball today, she's immensely talented and powerful. And yeah, so it's just good to see her come with the ball as well, and doing well with the ball. It's valuable because we spoke about that the frontline spinner, and it's good to see that if she's called upon, that she can still do a very handy job for a team. And yeah, it's just credit to the hard work that she's put in. Everybody can see it, and it's showing. So a confident Chloe is a dangerous Chloe. So, and I'm seeing a confident Chloe at the moment.
Confident Chloe, a dangerous Chloe, right? That's what we talk about. For a team like of South Africa, it has good depth for all the positions. You get to see competitiveness there, even if there are injury issues, a few players missing out. Talk us through the process, Dane. What are the key elements in making a strong team? Even if you don't have those big names, still the team presents itself as a formidable unit. And the competitiveness, we saw that spirit on the field today.
Yeah, obviously, you need to have a competitive environment, otherwise, your environment won't grow. So, it's been, as I said it a million times, it's been a long time coming for this team. The team's worked incredibly hard together and grown together. And, with time, we made sure that we got all the bases covered, because hence I break my ankle 4 days before we leave for tour. So, that you have those bases covered. Lazali is not there at the moment, but, it, it doesn't make that big a difference like it would have maybe 2 years ago, and that's a positive thing for me. Obviously we call her Dale, sorry. So Lizal's obviously missed within that lineup, because I mean, she's destructive, one of the most destructive batters in the world, and a gun fielder. So yeah, I just think it's just about the growth and the consistency within the side. A lot of players are pushing for a lot of spots, and you certainly can't just sit back and say, "I will get picked." There is options. Obviously, you don't want to play around too much at a World Cup. I'm not a big believer in that. I think keeping stuff consistently, but there is some red flags, within the set. Well, not within the setup, but within the squad at the moment. Hence, we speak a lot about that batting order. Um, you know, it. I just watched us bat today again, and you need to get your best batters facing as many balls as possible. It's not taking away from anyone, but I think they need to push up that whole batting lineup. Get Marizon in at 4, Sunayma's bat 3, and you go Lizal and Wolfar 5, Mignon. And then Chloe comes in at 6. I think that makes a strong batting lineup, and you back that batting lineup. It's a World Cup. You're gonna have to take the game to other teams. You can't sit back, and definitely can't take so many balls, and not get going, unfortunately. And it looks like it's becoming a little bit of a trend. So I think I think the team should make a strong play, and make sure that they sort that out before they go into really the crunch moments in, or the crunch time in within the tournament.
Exactly. So just talking about the way Bangladesh carried their innings. So if you have to compare the innings, South Africa they started slow, and then Bangladesh eventually they started good, but then lost the momentum. So how do you summarize Bangladesh's innings, Shatira?
Actually, how they have started, a certain time we thought like we are going to win the match, but you have to, the next batters have to carry the innings as well. When your opener have done their work, that was their work, like not to lose any wicket in power play and to make a good partnership, what they have made, but the next batters couldn't continue, is especially Farjana and Mushida and everyone. Later on, Rumana, Jyoti, and Ritumoni got some runs, but it was not enough to win the matches. End of the day, we couldn't play 50 overs. That is important thing. You have to play 50 overs. You have to do the plan. According to this plan, you need how many run you have to you need for win. But if you are playing like blindly, if you have given one bowler three maiden over, other bowlers also getting maiden overs, you cannot do this. No, it's 50 over match and you have already played 19 overs, two openers, which strike rate was below for 50, and it was not enough for them. So I think they had to count their batting strike rate as well. They have what I was telling before, like they have to be very calm, they have to plan according to the situation, but unfortunately they got the momentum but could not finish the game.
Got the momentum but couldn't finish the game. That's what we always keep talking about, capitalizing the momentum they received. But they put up a good fight. We all know that. But then we have talked about Ayabonga Khaka. We can't just not talk about Ismail. Surprise! She always surprises the batters with her short balls. Bowled a lot of short and length balls today. Tell us about the Ismail touch to South African cricket, Danny.
Yeah, she's a competitor. Yeah, she's very fierce. She always gives 120%. She runs in very hard. You know, you can see the emotion when she bowls and when she gets a wicket for a country. Every wicket for is obviously very important, and also sometimes it's a bit subdued, but I know in her belly, I know when she took that wicket today, she just, I kind of think she just went, oh, thank goodness. You know, she's been incredible for us, and the longevity of her career being a pace bowler has just, um, you know, shown how incredibly hard she works. She's a hard worker. You know, she's been doing it for a very long time, and very successfully as well. She's been leading the pack, and hopefully she continues to do it a little bit longer, so I can come back and play a little bit more with her. It's never fun facing her in the nets. It's horrible. It's not easy facing her, Marizon, and you know the pace attack running in the nets, and I can certainly feel for the batters when those balls fly past their helmets. It's never fun. But that's who she is, and you know, I'll take a Shebi like that all day, any day.
Obviously, not wanting to face her in the nets, integral part of the South African side. Shatira, your thoughts on Shabnim Ismail? When you see a player of her caliber in your opposition side, you know that she's a quality pacer, you're facing her. How does that feel, and how do you make your team ready for this challenge?
Actually, I'm very surprised to see today Shamima and Sharmi's batting when they were facing Shabnam and Kaf's bouncer and short balls. Especially, they were very good in it. But especially, if you see the pace, Shabnam and Marison, they were bowling in 109 and 110 kilometer per hour. Even Jahanar Alam was bowling in the same pace, 109, 110. But the difference is Jahanara, Bangladeshi bowlers never cannot give that much of bounce and variation and short ball. But the South African bowler, they are doing ball in the same pace, but their sport, their short ball bouncer is their strength. So it was very difficult for Bangladeshi batters because we don't have that much of bouncer in our country, so they don't have enough practice to play that kind of shot or bouncer, but they have tackled it very nicely today, but they have to learn how to play that kind of pace bowlers nicely, and they knows now how to play, but they have to learn how to score more in that kind of good paces.
Correct. And talking about, like, we were in the first pre-show, and then again the mid-show, we were discussing about the fielding. Mid-show, we talked that Bangladesh were good on the field. Then he also added the same, gave due credits to the team. Even South Africa looked good on the field today. How do you summarize South Africa's fielding in today's match, Danny?
Yeah, I I disagree. I don't think it was one of their best performances. Yeah, not a couple of chances, many chances. Or went down, or missing the stumps. We're generally known for
Hmm.
really hitting the stumps, and yeah, it's just didn't feel like, I said about the bowlers is a complete performance, and I only meant it by, if you look at the RPOs and the chip ins, like everybody went under fours and great, but I just didn't look like the settled South African side that we kind of expected. Everybody was speaking about how they're either the underdogs or the dark horses or the favorites, and they certainly, for me, knowing them and what they've achieved in the recent past, and the hype around the team, I was just very surprised. It just looked a bit nervous. It just looked a bit unsettled in the field, and also yeah, but you can bring it down to, it's the first official game, and the nerves are there, and you just want to get the rust off. But I just think South Africa should really go back to the drawing board and think of, they want to make a statement, and you're definitely not gonna make a statement if you're timid, and you're on the back foot. You're gonna have to take it to every single team. You're gonna have to, otherwise you're gonna be found wanting, like today. Again, let's put it down to the first game. I don't know. I'm not there. I'd like to find out why, because I definitely didn't expect this from. I think, in my opinion, should be a very confident South African side.
Correct. So these were the areas which you think that heading into the next games, South Africa will definitely have to work on. But if I have to ask Shatira, the positives that Bangladesh can take from this match, keep their spirits high into the tournament.
Yeah, obviously the positive side was they knows how to bowl, in where to bowl, especially like they had a very good bowling and fielding side, and they did well today. And the positive things is they have to learn something from the South African batters, because when they were in pressure, when Morrison Cap and Trent were batting, so that innings that partnership makes the difference. Especially starting was not very good, South African starting, but after that the middle order, how they build the partnership, how they took the match so far. They did 200 plus run from that starting, so they have to learn that one, because you have to do this kind of partnership if you want to win the match. Cricket is not about bowling and fielding, you have to do good batting also. They were good, but they were not good enough to win the match. So end of the day, everyone counts. Yeah, they all will say Bangladesh played well, but everyone count about the winner. So when you are playing in this kind of mega event, no one will count that you are the first time, you are playing for the first time. Whatever you are competing with the best team, so you deserve this place. So I think they have to think about the positive things, and from the next match, if they will get the momentum, they should not miss it. They should utilize the momentum.
True. So Danny, already you pinpointed the things, the concerning factors that were you said that the first match nerves weren't settled yet. At the opening, we saw that Brits struggled out there a bit, and that put a lot of pressure on Wolfart. But can you pinpoint the positives from this match that South Africa can take? Because probably the experienced players, they all stood out for the team. Whether it was Marizan Cap, Chloe Tryon with their partnership, Khaka Ismail with the ball, even Class for that matter.
Yeah, and that's a great point. You want, in a tournament like this, all your seniors to step up, and that is what happened today. You know, the positive to me is the way that, for instance, Laura Wolford started the way she always did, and even though she might have been under pressure, she still tried to look to score. Sine started looking like good. She started like she was getting into her work with her bat. Unfortunate. Mignon also, just all my seniors are sorry, the South African seniors are stepping up, and that's great, and it pushes, I guess the less experienced players to step up their game, and hopefully that would happen. It was just yeah, and then obviously the bowling, I mentioned it, again, for me, if you look at the stats, it was a complete performance. It's only bowled to over, so you can't really go on that. And yeah, so just for me, everybody chipping in, and as you mentioned there, the engine room of the bowling, the Shabnam, Marizon, Aya, and Klaas, everybody chipping in and being very economical, and then Chloe not getting a lot of opportunities in the recent past to bowl, as probably I would like to have seen, but the way she also came in, I think the bowling for me is a bit of a is a better, I guess, the better phase of the three today, to be honest. But that's what we expect from the South African side, and um, you know, I just don't want them to hammer on the bowling as much.
True.
Mentioned earlier that the batting side needs to come to the party as well, and they need to find ways to keep going with the momentum. As I said, uh, unfortunately, Bangladesh just fell short. I think in experience, and maybe just the lack of, I guess, that power hitting that maybe South Africa had in the middle with Chloe and Marizon, and that comes with experience, and that comes with more game time. So I'm sure in the near future, that is what Bangladesh is going to get right. They're going to chase these 208s, because they've had that experience. But South Africa has played a lot of cricket. They've come off a very high, I guess, season, successful, and that is not a performance for me that a confident team should display. And 208 against Australia might not be enough, or England might not be enough because of that experience. So, yeah. But again, a lot of positives, not going to take it away. I'm putting it down to rust and the first game, and hopefully they bounce back against Pakistan and be their attacking self.
So then he wants South Africa to be their one self, the attacking self. So this was all from the post-match show. South Africa won the match by 32 runs. Lot of positives to take for both the teams. Bangladesh obviously will want to take the positives. The way they started the match, the way they restricted a South African batting unit to a total of 207. So definitely we'll be all looking forward when the teams again take the charge of the field. Also, until then, you stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone for all the updates on women's cricket.